Do you ever get bored of your everyday existence? I sure do. Well, I should say I did, but I decided to do something about it. You see, conventional wisdom tells us that you get older, your parents pass away, and you get what's left over for you, your inheritance. That wasn't good enough for me. I wanted it now. I wanted to get all my money now so I could go live it up, and that's exactly what I told my dad. I walked right up to him and I said,
"Dad, I want what's coming to me right now." That's what my youngest son said to me. Who does he think he is, demanding things like that from me? I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. But as much as it pained me, I decided to give him what he needed, his inheritance, so he could go in search of a better life. And the next thing I know, he's all packed up, and then
I was out of there. I kissed that boring place goodbye. I had a whole world in front of me to discover. So the first thing I did was...
he got lost. He had to ask for directions 4 times before he left our hometown. I mean, I love him, but he's no Magellan.
That's not true. It was 3 times, and 1 doesn't count because I couldn't understand what he was saying. I just nodded my head and left. And the only reason I'm not good with directions is because somebody never took the time to teach me.
Don't go there.
Anyway, that doesn't really matter. The point is, I did find my way out of town, and then I began to live it up. I had the best clothes that my inheritance could buy. I was eating like a king. And the ladies, well, what can I say about the ladies?
Why don't we just not say anything about the ladies?
All right, never mind. But, I mean, the clothes, the friends I had, everything else, it was going really well. Until...
he ran out of money, right about the time the whole country hit a recession.
there wasn't any work to be found. And I promise, I tried to find work. Eventually, I got a position as a manager. Okay? An assistant to the manager. All right. I was a bacon preparation assistant.
Which means?
I took care of pigs. It was gross. It was dirty. I didn't make any money. I didn't have a place to live. And I didn't have any food. There were some days that I thought maybe I would just eat the slop I was giving to the pigs, but they wouldn't let me eat it. So with hunger pains to remind me of the life I had thrown away and all the money I had squandered, I just lived in misery, day after day.
Day after day, I watched and I waited. I pained in my heart, as only a parent could do for a child. But most importantly, I never gave up on him. I knew he would return.
Then one day it hit me. Back at my father's house, his lowliest worker was living like a king compared to me. They had food to eat every day, a stable job, and a place to sleep. So I wondered,
What if he never comes to his senses? What if he never comes back? What if I never see him again?
Again and again, I ran things through my head on my long journey back to my father's house. I knew what I would do. I would humbly ask him for work, for a job. I had no right to ask for a handout. I didn't even feel worthy to be his son. If he would just give me work, just maybe.
Maybe today he'll come back. That was the thought running through my head. Maybe today, as I'm watching and waiting, I'll see him appear out in the distance as he makes his long journey home.
Home. It's a word that describes so many things. Comfort, care, security, acceptance, and love. And now I was just a few hundred yards away from it.
It was a beautiful day. I was sitting out on the front porch, enjoying a cool breeze, when I saw him.
He stood up out of his chair. He started squinting his eyes to get a better look at me. I wondered what he was thinking. I wondered what he felt about me. Would he say, "I told you so"?
I told you so. I told you. I told you he'd come back. None of you would listen to me. But I knew. I didn't ever give up on him. I knew.
I just knew he was going to be angry. The closer I got to the house, the more I realized I had made a mistake. So I stopped.
He just stood there.
I couldn't move.
I couldn't just stand there, so...
He jumped. He literally jumped off the front porch, and he has never done that before. He was like a little kid, all excited about something. And then it hit me. He was excited about me. So what did I do?
You know what I did next?
I ran.
My heart was pounding. All I could do was run to him.
I had never seen him run so fast. His arms were stretched out as if to say, "Welcome home."
Welcome home, I shouted, but he was still too far off to hear me. But We kept running toward each other. All I wanted to do was scoop him up in my arms like I did when he was a little boy and let him know that everything was going to be okay. And as he got closer, I could see the tears running down his face.
He was crying.
Tears of joy. Do you know what my son did next? He jumped.
I actually jumped. I was so excited and so afraid. So I jumped. And my father,
I caught him. And then
he hugged me. He hugged me like only a father could. I'm so sorry, I told him. Please forgive me. I'm not worthy to be called your son.
My son is back. Bring him some clothes and get him some shoes and make something to eat. No, let's have a feast because we're going to celebrate. My son will no longer live as an orphan because today all of our hopes have come true.
I guess it was hope that kept me going. Hope that my father would have mercy on me. Hope that somehow, some way, he would take me back. And a hope that I would be forgiven.
Forgiven. It's all forgiven. I'll never bring it up again. There's no blame. There's no anger. There's only joy. For my son was lost, but now he's found.